Hey, what's up guys, it's C-Sax coming to you with another opening video. I recently picked up an extra copy of the Predator Battles set, just to have some extra jungle hunters and all that kind of stuff. My Predator opening is one of the worst videos on the channel, so I figured I'd take another stab at it because, new players getting into the game are going to be looking for these opening videos to kind of, get an idea what sets they want to pick up, so I thought it might be nice to kind of take another stab at it. I already took the plastic off because I didn't know that I was going to do this, but I haven't opened anything inside yet. But anyway, let's take a look at this. So we got the Predator Battles here. We got Ghost on the front. So on the back it says, "Want some candy?" Versus System 2 PCG is getting hunted for the latest release, the Predator Battles. For the first time ever, Versus System 2 PCG will include the notorious galactic hunters, the Predator. Players will finally be able to use these stealthy creatures to fight the likes of Dutch, Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, and Peter Keyes, dominate the galaxy, and construct decks to hunt both humans, predators, and any other space creatures that appear in the Versus System 2 PCG. The Predator Battles are here. I like that it says space creatures, because they can't say aliens, I guess, because they can't put aliens on the same box as predators. So we got Keys on here, Lambert and Mac. Let's go ahead and open this up. Alright. So it comes with a full rulebook because it's a battles set. So I won't go through this really. There's a full rulebook in here. We got our counters and whatnot. Let's start with the Prey. So the Prey, if we have Predator and Prey in this set, the Prey are like the human characters from the movies. Let's do like half this stack. Alright, so we have Dutch here. This is Arnold, of course, from the first movie. He doesn't look all that much like Arnold. He kind of does. Not so much on level 2. So we have Dutch. He's a 2/4 with 6 wounds and range. My men are not expendable. Main for a red. Enemy characters can't team attack on their next turn, which is pretty good. And then he's killing us one at a time. So level up for 3 experience. When an enemy character makes a solo attack, Dutch gains an XP. So your opponent's kind of in control of that level up condition, but if you keep paying that red, you kind of put them in an awkward situation where either they have to give you XP or they're just not going to be declaring any attacks. So that's kind of interesting. And at level 2, he loses range, because if you remember at the end of the movie, they shed all their gear and whatnot, and they just, fight with their wit. So he's a 6/7 with 6 wounds. He still has that can't team attack ability. And then he has come on, do it now. So any turn combat, yellow. Put 2 -1 counters on an enemy attacker. Amplify, KO that attacker instead. So amplify is if you pay that yellow by discarding it from your hand. You would KO the attacker instead. So your opponent has to be really, really careful, because if they swing in with their main character and you amplify for yellow, you KO the attacker. It doesn't specify supporting character. You just KO that character and you would win the game. Here's my favorite Prey main character. We got Harrigan. He's a 2/5 with 5 wounds. He does not have a range, even though he is holding a gun in the picture, which is always been kind of annoying to me. But this is a really good card anyway. So he has the door swings both ways. Main yellow, put a +1 counter on a character and a -1 counter on another character. So he has fair and balance built in. And then he has the commendations for Valor, 10 commendations for Valor. So in level up for 10, when Harrigan strikes a character, he gains XP equal to his attack. And then at level 2, he's a 5/9, and he's got Who's Next. So main for a green, for the rest of the game, when Harrigan attacks the first time each turn, ready him at the end of the combat. You can attack multiple times. I really like Harrigan. This is one of my favorite aggro decks. I think this is maybe like one of the best aggro decks that hasn't shown up at a tournament or anything yet. I really like that card. And then we have Isabel. Isabel is a 3/4 with range and 5 wounds. We need to work as a team. Main for an earth. Characters on your side have ferocious and quick draw while team attacking this turn. Quick draw is the one where they can't be struck back, I think, while range attacking. And then we should stick together. Level up 2. When 3 or more characters on your side team attack, Isabel gains an XP. And then at level 2, she's a 4/8, and she has We Should Go to Higher Ground. So build for red for the rest of the game. Whenever you play a location, put 2 +1 counters on Isabel. That's pretty good. Alright, we have Royce. This recently made a top 8 appearance at Gen Con in the Singularity format. I've always thought this card's pretty terrible, but, you know, is what it is. Apparently, there's some cool things you can do with this. This is supposed to be Adrian Brody from the third movie, but I guess they couldn't get the likeness for Adrian Brody because it looks nothing like him. But he's a 3/3 with 6 wounds in range. He has I'm Not a Good Man. Main for a yellow, wound a supporting character on your side. If you do, choose an enemy player to wound a supporting character on their side. So you have to wound one of your guys. There is some cute things you can do with this. Like you could play Mantis, wound your Mantis, get a resource. You could do like Ajax, who can't be KO'd till the end of the turn. Yeah, there is some cute things you can do with that. And then I need to know who we're up against. Level up 7. When another character gets wounded, gain an XP. So that kind of goes with your first power. And then at level 2, he's a 7/5 with ranged, and he has But I'm Fast. Reaction, red, when an enemy player plays a plot twist, cancel it. We don't have a lot of abilities like that in the game, so it's cool to see that. Alright, so we have Anna, supporting character, 1-drop, a 0/4/1 wound, and she has Bond with Dutch. So you may discard Anna to generate a power symbol for one of your Dutch superpowers. So she can pay for any one of his powers. And then she has this thing is hunting us, all of us. Reaction for an earth. When another character on your side gets stunned, recover it. I think mostly you're using her for the Dutch thing. Alright, we have a 2-drop Billy. He's a 2/2 with 2 wounds. Berserker, so when he attacks, you put a counter on him. And then Ain't Afraid of No Man, so when Billy defends, you also put a +1 counter on him. Here's a card I like quite a bit, but it doesn't see very much play. We have Blaine. He's a 3/3 with a range of 2 wounds. He's got tough, so when he gets stunned, you may recover him. And then he has I Ain't Got Time to Bleed. When Blaine recovers, draw a card. Man, you guys know how much I love drawing cards. Here's a funny card. We have 5-drop Dylan. He's an 8/8 with 2 wounds in range. 8/8 is really good for a 5-drop, especially with range. But he's got Maybe I Can Get Even. So while Dylan is wounded, his base attack and defense are half his credit attack and defense, which I think is hilarious, because if you remember in the movie, he gets his arm shot off. So I guess that's what that's for. But an 8/8 on 5 with range is not bad. Ain't nothing to sneeze at. It's also worth noting that when you open your Predator box, your characters aren't in order of drop. I don't know what order they are in. It just looks like they're alphabetical. Yeah, so they're alphabetical, which is odd. So we have 7-drop Dutch. He's a 7/8 with 2 wounds. He's got Leader and Lethal, which is really good on a supporting character to have both of those. And then he's got Get to the Choppa, which is a crazy power. So main, Earth, Yellow, Green. At the start of your next turn, if Dutch and your main character are face up, you win the game. So there's been several decks built around this over the last couple years. You know, Sister Grimm main character, she has one that stops your opponent from attacking on their next turn. I think it's called Muzzle. So you would trigger this and then make it so your opponent can't attack you on their next turn. So they would have to do something crazy, like put a bunch of counters on Dutch or your main character to stop this from triggering. But there's all kinds of interesting decks you could build. Just try to get to the Choppa. Alright, we have 2-drop Edwin. He's a 1/5 with 1 health. His I Wouldn't Do That. Main for a yellow, heal a wound from a supporting character on your side. Use this power only while Edwin is good. And that, so he starts out good because he's prey. And then he has I Like It here. Main for a yellow, wound a supporting character, and Edwin becomes evil. Use this power only if you've healed a wound with I Wouldn't Do That. So if you remember in the movie, you think he's just a normal doctor the whole time, and he's like a fish out of water because it's all these hardened killers. But it turns out at the end that he's like a crazy serial killer or whatever. So that's what that's about. We have Harrigan, supporting character, which I think is also another really good card. A 5/6 with 2 wounds. He's got Fearless, so while attacking a main character, Harrigan strikes with double his attack. He's also got Violent, so while attacking a supporting character, Harrigan strikes with double his attack. And then he has They Say You're Good at What You Do. So main for a green, choose another prey character on your side to gain Fearless and Violent this turn. So that seems pretty good. Again, I feel like he should have ranged, but Fearless and Violent on a guy with range would be really, really good. So, I mean, I get why they didn't do it, but he's holding a gun. Here's another really good card. 1-drop Hawkins. He's a 2/3 with ranged. He's got Mercenary, so he can team attack with any main character. And then he has Follower. So when Hawkins team attacks with a main character, that character gains leader for the combat. So you would get to choose who they strike back against. We have Isabel, supporting character. She's a 5/5, 5 cost with ranged. She has Sniper Nest. Isabel can't be attacked in the back row. An enemy player may turn a location with a blue symbol face down during their main phase to turn off this effect. To turn this effect off this turn. Okay, sorry about that. And she has I watched him die. So combat. So that's not any turn, so it has to be your turn. So combat, Earth. Isabel gets +1/+0 this combat for each character in your KO pile. That's kind of cool. I can get really big. Oh, I love this card. So we have 4-drop keys. He's a 4/6 with 1 health. 2 weeks to learn his patterns. When keys appears, choose a character on your side. That character can use any power symbol to pay for its next superpower this turn. And then it has liquid nitrogen cannon. So main for a yellow, freeze an enemy character. So that obviously that first one is the one that we've really seen keys see play for. Like in Dark Phoenix, you could ramp with any 2 locations. It doesn't have to be 2 yellows. Yeah, so it's very good. Bring these guys together. So we have 3-drop Lambert. He's a 5/4 with range. That's pretty good stats for a 3-drop. He has no autographs, so Lambert has every good team affiliation. Is that really what that power is called? I've never looked at that. I thought it was like, because I think in the movie or something they say he's like a team player. So I assumed that it would be something like that. Well, what does no autographs have to do with having every good team affiliation? Well, whatever. He also has quick draw. So while Lambert is range attacking, he can't be struck back. But that first ability, having every good team affiliation, is really, really strong. He can team attack with any good character. You can play any good plot twist you want. But really, no autographs? Okay, I have a problem of never, unless I'm on camera doing an opening, I don't always read the powers on characters and see what they're called. So that's kind of funny. I thought it was something to do with him being a team player. Alright, so we have 4-drop Mac. He's a 4/4 with range and 1 wound. He has flares, flags, and claymores. When an enemy character appears, put a -1 counter on it. And then if it bleeds, we can kill it. So Mac has +2/+2 while in combat with enemy characters that have -1 counters. I think that's not bad. It's a pretty good card. A lot of these cards are pretty good, but there's just such competitive cards at each drop. You don't always see some of these. Here's a really good card though. We have 2-drop Poncho. It's a 2/4 with ranged and 1 health. He is hunted, so Poncho has +3 defense while defending. So he would be 7 while he's being attacked. And then he has a 37mm rotary grenade launcher. Whoa, rotary grenade launcher. Main for red, put a -1 counter on each enemy back row characters. That's pretty good. And having 7 defense while being attacked is pretty good. Here's another card that I think is terrible. We have 6-drop Royce. He's a 6/6 with range and 1 wound. Yes, I'm better on my own. So while Royce is the only face-up character on your side, he gets +4/+4. So he could be a 10/10 range attacker, but only if you're like losing or crashing your guys into your opponent's guys or something. And then he has we're going to kill them all. So main for a red, move a wound on an enemy character to an enemy supporting character. That's kind of cool, I guess. But all right, here's where the Prey team really, really shines. These plot twists are all amazing. All right, so we have Death Trap. Any turn combat, choose an attacker to get -4 defense this combat. So it's kind of a reverse Savage Surprise. It's going to work the same as Savage Surprise. But like it can't be even the odds or whatever. And then it says, you can play this card from your resource row. If you do, replace it with the top card of your deck face down. So you would just play that as a resource, and then your opponent would just attack into it. So that's really good. And the artwork is killer. Alright, we have He Couldn't See Me. Main, choose a character on your side that has stealth, can melee attack protected characters, or invisibility. At the end of your turn, if it's ready, it may hide this turn. I didn't know it had to be ready to do that, but both really good effects. Stealth is a really good power to get back there and maybe hit their main character if they're trying to hide. And there's some cute combos you can do with invisibility. Just ask Burt Richardson. We have Shit Happens, or as we like to call it, Soup Happens, because they star out the name. So any turn combat, put a -1 counter on an enemy character in the combat. that character loses and can't gain keyword and superpowers this combat, which is really, really good. Here's another amazing card. We have the 4-drop M134 minigun equipment. It has payback time, so you pay 2 less to equip this if there is a prey character in your KO pile. And then Old Painless. So equip the character has a range, and when it attacks, put 2 -1 counters on each unprotected character on the enemy side. So this card is really, really good. And then we have 4 headquarters, which is their special location. The yellow location in this set is Los Angeles. We have Earth. We have Valverdan Jungle as our green. And that's all the locations in this pile here, so the rest are in the Predator pile. Let's try to get some of this stuff out of the way. Alright, let's take a look at our Predators. Okay. Alright, so we have Falconer. So he's 3/4 with 5 wounds. Is activate Falcon Drone. So Falconer starts the game with a Falcon Drone on your side. So I guess we'll talk about this in conjunction with the drone so that it's easier to understand. So you start out with one of your drones. The drone has flight. It's a 0/3. It has bond with Falconer. So you can discard the drone to generate a power symbol for one of Falconer's superpowers. So you can use this to pay for any of his superpowers, the ones that require a payment. And then Eye in the Sky. Enemy players reveal each card they draw. So you would start the game with a Falconer and a drone, and then when any cards your opponent draws, they would have to reveal to you. Alright, so then we're being hunted, so build for a blue, search your deck for a Falcon Drone, and put it onto your side. And then he also has Weird the Game as his level up power. He needs 3 XP. When an enemy player reveals 1 or more cards, Falconer gains an XP. So that's where the synergy with the drone comes in. You want them to reveal cards to you. This would also affect things like Kane. When they're revealing cards from the top of their deck to hit a location. That would count. That's only 1 XP though, I believe, because it's all happening at the same time. I could be wrong though, because maybe it's each reveal is its own thing. It says 1 or more cards, but I'm wrong all the time. Okay, so level 2 is a 6/8 Falconer. He has an Epic Duel. Any turn combat green. When Falconer strikes a character this combat, stun that character. Uses power only during solo attack. So that's really good. Alright, we have Ghost. This is probably my favorite Predator main character. 2/5 with range, 5 wounds. He must be losing it. Main for a red. Choose an enemy character. That character can't attack on its next turn. And then it has City of Fear. Level up 2. At the end of each enemy player's turn, Ghost gains an XP for each character on that side that didn't attack this turn. So this is kind of a control main character. So you can use this power to make it so they can't attack. That guarantees you an XP. You could use stuff like Iceman to freeze them down so you get an XP. You could use a card we'll be looking at a little later on, Net Launcher, that gets you XP. So pretty good control card. Now at level 2, he's now a 5/8 with range, and he has Want Some Candy. So main for a blue, you hide Ghost, which is one where you turn him face down. So it's kind of like being dazed, but you're not considered to be stunned. So when you're hidden, they can't add wounds to you with Thanos or something like that. So, yeah. We have Jungle Hunter. This is the one from the first movie. He's a 2/4 with range, 6 wounds, and he has the Demon Who Makes Trophies of Men. So main for a space, remove a character and an enemy KO pop from the game. If it has a red wound, draw 2 cards. If it has a green wound, draw 3 cards. And then he's killing us 1 at a time. Level up 4. When a character on your side stuns a defender while solo attacking, Jungle Hunter gains an XP. So he's got pretty low stats for an aggro main character who wants to stun stuff solo style, but he's okay. And then he's similar to Dutch in that he changes artwork at level 2 and he loses range because, they shed all their armor and weapons and stuff. He still has the Demon Who Makes Trophies of Men, but there's something that's worth noting about this. So at level 1, he says to draw 2 for a red wound and 3 for a green wound. At level 2, it says if it has a red wound, draw a card, 1, and it has a green wound, draw 2 cards. This is a misprint. It's supposed to be the exact same as level 1. So A red gets you 2 cards, and a green gets you 3 cards. It's just misprinted on level 2. They do have a... I don't know if they're still doing that thing where you can mail in your copy and get a replacement with the correct wording. I'll link that video down below with the article in it. I don't know that you can still do that, but it doesn't matter. As long as you know that it's the same at both levels, you can play this copy of the card. It doesn't matter. It's the same. Anyway, so he has one ugly mother at level 2. So, combat for greens, this has to be on your turn. Put 2 +1 counters on Jungle Hunter. Amplify, put 4 +1 counters on him instead, and he can't be stunned this combat. So, I think at level 2, he's a pretty strong, aggressive main character. Although at level 1, you might have some trouble leveling him up. He's got really small stats for an aggro guy. Here's another misprinted card we'll talk a little bit about, but this is a really good card. So we have Mr. Black. He's a 4/2 with range and 6 wounds. He has Super Predator. So this is the guy from the fourth movie. Or sorry, the third movie. There are no cards from the fourth movie, because this was before that. Main for a red, Mr. Black has Ferocious and Dodge until the start of your next turn. So Dodge is if he can't be ranged attack, and Ferocious is he strikes first in melee combat. And then he has no honor code. So he needs 3 XP, and when 1 or more characters on your side stuns a defender while range attacking, Mr. Black gains an XP. And he has pretty good stats for an aggro main character. And then at level 2, he's now 7/5, and he has Enhanced Biomask. So main for a space, Mr. Black can attack hidden enemies and stun characters. So this is another misprint. It doesn't say this turn. It says Mr. Black can attack hidden enemies and stun characters. So the way it's worded is once you pay that space, it should last for the rest of the game. But then if you look at something like Harrigan specifies that he lasts till the end of the game. So this is supposed to say Mr. Black can attack hidden enemies and stun characters this turn. So every time you want to do this, you have to pay that space that turn. It doesn't last for the rest of the game. Again, they were doing a thing where you could mail this in and get a replacement card. I don't know that you can still do that, but just know that it says this turn, and you'll be fine. Alright, so let's get into our supporting characters, which are out of order. So we have our Falconer supporting characters, so let's pull our Falcon drones back out. Alright, this is a really good card. I love this card. So we have Falconer supporting character. He's a 4 cost. He's a 4/6. He's got Watch and Wait, so when Falconer appears, you search your deck for a Falcon drone, reveal it, and put it into your hand. And then he has Bait and Switch, so reaction for a red. At the end of an enemy formation step, you may move an enemy character to its front or back row. So you can pay a red for that, or you can use the Falcon drone that you just searched from your deck. You can just discard this and rearrange their formation at the end of the formation step, which is really good. I can't emphasize enough how good it is in rearranging the rows. Here we go. We got another one of the best cards in the set. We have Ghost supporting character. He's got a 6/7 and a range, 2 wounds. He's got Leap, so he can fly on your turn. And he has Remarkable Weaponry. So when Ghost appears, reveal a card from the top of your deck until you reveal an equipment. You may play it for free onto Ghost or put it into your hand. Shuffle the rest of the revealed cards into the deck. This is one of the cards from this set that we've seen a lot since this has come out. We'll get into some of those equipment later, but it's a very good card. Here's a really cool card that doesn't see a lot of play, but there's some cute things you can do with it. So we have Greyback. He's a 4 cost. He's a 1/8 with range, so he's got really low attack. But he has Wisdom of the Ages, so you pay 4 less to recruit Greyback if you have 8 resources. So later in the game, you could recruit this guy for free. And then he has Passing on the Wisdom. So main for a space, put a +1 counter on each Predator character on your side for each attack Greyback has. So as it stands, he would give 1 counter to everybody. But the bigger you make this guy, the bigger you can make your whole squad. So I would be interested to try like a Loyal Predator deck that maybe revolves around getting this guy real big and then giving all your guys a bunch of counters. I think this is a really cool card that doesn't see a lot of play. Because, that's a lot of stuff you got to do, but it could be a lot of payoff. Really cool card. So we have 5-drop Gunslinger here. He's a 4/7 with range. He's tech savvy, so Gunslinger can equip any number of equipment, because normally a character can only have 1. And then he has Weapon Surplus, so build for a space, you pay 1 less to play an equipment this turn. So that's kind of cool, and I really like the artwork on this guy. So we have Hellhound. 3-drop, he's got Creature and Swarm, so he can't hold equipment, but you can have any number of this guy on your side. So he's got Durable. If Hellhound would get stunned other than by getting struck in combat, It doesn't get wounded. When Hellhound gets stunned, other than by getting struck in combat, you may recover him. And he is monstrous. So while Hellhound is defending against a melee team attack, it strikes against each attacker. So I think this card is terrible. But oh well. Here's arguably the best card in the set. And maybe still the best 7-drop in the game. So we have 7-drop Jungle Hunter. He's a 6/6, 2 wounds. He's using the trees. So while Jungle Hunter appears, you may search your deck for a location and put it onto your side. So we got Ramp, which as we all know is good. And then he has Otherworld Lifeform. So while a Valverdan jungle location is on your side, which is the Predator Green here, Jungle Hunter has +3 attack and stealth, so he can attack into the back row. And then while a Predator Ship location is on your side, Jungle Hunter has +3 attack and invade, which means he can't be struck back while attacking back there. So Predator Ship is the blue location that we'll get to in a minute, but that card is incredible. Here we have a pretty bad card. So we have Mr. Black. He's a 5 cost. He's a 6/6 with range, 1 wound. He's angry, and I'll be honest, I don't remember what angry does. And he has out of nowhere. I don't know if angry is the one where he has to be your first attack each turn, or maybe that's stupid. I don't remember. I don't remember what angry is. Anyway, so he's out of nowhere. Build for a blue. Put Mr. Black onto your side at the end of your turn, KO him. Use his power only while he's in your hand. So you can bring him out for a blue early on, but then he goes away. Here's another really incredible card. So 2-drop Primeval Hunter, a 3/2, 2 wounds. He's got Hunter. So Primeval Hunter has +3 attack while attacking, so he's a 6 attacker. And he's Apex Predator. So main for a green Primeval Hunter has stealth and lethal this turn, which is 2 really good keywords. And then we have Tracker. This is an alright card. It's meh. 2/2 with range. It wants us to run. So Tracker has +1 attack and +1 defense for each different basic location type on all sides. So he can get big-ish, but he's a 2/2 on 2. It's not great. We have Yautja Prisoner. Yautja is like the official name of the predator species. I think this is the only card we see that on, which is odd. So he's a 6/6 on 3 with range and 2 wounds, which seems incredible, but then you read it, and he has Crucified. Yautja Prisoner appears exhausted and with a wound. So he can't attack the turn you play him, and he starts out with a wound. But, I don't know, 6/6 on 3 ain't nothing to sneeze at, y'all. Alright, so we get into the plot twists and the equipment here, which is where the Predator team really shines, is their equipment. Alright, so we have Anytime. It's one of a kind, so you can only play one of this card. And then as main, choose an enemy character on your side to strike a face-up enemy character. So that's not an official combat. You just compare your attack to their defense, and then you stun them, if you can stun them. But they don't strike back against you. They can't play plot twist or anything, so that's pretty cool. We have over here, it's also one of a kind. Put a supporting character from an enemy player's KO pile onto your side. At the end of your turn, KO it. Pretty good. Here's probably the best one here. Turn around. It's one of a kind. And it has choose an enemy player to reveal their hand. You discard a card from it. And here's where it all comes together. We have Vocal Mimicry. It's one of a kind. This card has the text of each other Predator one-of-a-kind plot twist in your KO pile. So if you had all 3 of these in your KO pile, and you play Vocal Mimicry, you get to do all 3 of these. Which I've never done, but I imagine it feels super good. Alright, we have 1-cost Active Camouflage. It changed colors. Equipped character has +2/+2 dodge and stealth. So it can be range attacked, and it can make melee attacks into the back row. Really, really good card. There's another really good card that we're probably going to see a lot of at Gen Con, maybe. It's 0-cost Combi Stick. So all you have to do is have a Predator guy to play this. It doesn't cost anything. Quick Fire. While this card is in your hand, you may equip it to a Predator attacker or defender on your side as if... on your side anytime you could play an any turn combat plot twist. So you can basically play this as a... Like, timing-wise, it works the same as an any turn combat plot twist, as long as you're playing onto a Predator. But then it also has Ritualistic Totem. Equip the character has +1 attack and Combat Master. Combat Master is the one where your opponent cannot play plot twists in the combat, which is very good, especially for these aggro main characters. We have 2-drop Medikit. I've seen a lot of this card in some competitive decks. There's somebody in the bathroom, main for a green, heal a wound from the equipped character. And you can do this on your main character as well, which is very, very good. Another card we've seen a lot of, Very good card. We have 1-drop Net Launcher. It has Catch Them Off Guard. Main for a blue, daze an enemy character, just stun it without wounding it. It can't recover until after its next recovery phase, so it stays face down on your opponent's entire turn. So if you do this on your main character, they just have to play without a main character for a turn. Really good. Here's a really cool card that never sees play. A lot of people were really excited about this card when the set first came out. I still think there's got to be something cool you can do with this. So 3-drop Self-Destruct Device. The last hunt. At the start of your turn, you may KO Self-Destruct Device. If you do, stun each enemy character, turn each enemy location face down, and KO the equipped character. So you're really gonna screw up their board if you can pull that off. We have a 1-drop Smart Disc. So it has Cutting Disc. Equipped character gets +4 attack while attacking, which is really good. And then Smart Weapon. So build for a red. If Smart Disc is in your KO pile, play it for free, which is really good. And then finally we have Trophy Area, which is their special location for the Predators. Really cool artwork. There's lots of like alien skulls and stuff. Like here's an alien queen skull, up there, alien skull here. Really cool. And then here's the Predator ship that I was talking about. This gives your Jungle Hunter invade if you have this on your side. And then I think did we already see Predator ship? I don't think so. I don't think the Preys use blues. We have our space. We have our game preserve, which is our red location for this team. Alright. So that is the Predator set. I hope this was helpful maybe to some new players who were thinking about picking up the Predator set. Since my previous Predator opening is atrocious. It's probably the worst video on the channel. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you later. Bye.